Look at the lineup we have here.
23 Jim Carrey movies. We are going to be putting them into a tier list. If we don't have your favorite in there, it's because we suck and we have not seen the movie.
You summed it up perfectly.
Some of these we have not seen for years, which is fine because I think we remember how we felt about them initially.
Yeah, so if only one of us has seen it, just basically whatever thoughts, yeah.
Whatever we remember. Most of these we've seen a billion times and remember very, very well.
Yes. Jim Carrey all the way. Yeah, he was definitely a staple in our house.
Not really a staple in our house, more of just watch it on your own time. Dad hates this crap. First up is we have Once Bitten from 1985.
Ooh.
You have not seen this one?
I saw it one time. I remember not caring much for it. That's all I can remember, really. Did you see that one?
I saw it. I feel like I really want that hour and a half of my life back. So unless you can think of something that makes it any better than this, we are starting out strong with our first F tier.
Ooh, I can't disagree. Oh, that's a lousy start, but it'll get better.
So next one, Earth Girls Are Easy. I have not seen this one.
Earth Girls
so
Are Easy.
You are going to take this.
Oh, I like that movie. It's a very weird movie. It's kind of stupid, but it's just the typical 80s cheesies. They even have like a music video in there, and they're all just singing a song. But it's just kind of ridiculous, but I just love it. And yeah, Jim Carrey's kind of, he's not like one of the main characters or anything, but he's goofy as hell, that's for sure.
But isn't that one of you and your mom's
Me and my
favorite
mom
ones?
used to, we used to watch a lot.
So where would you put it?
Yeah, nostalgia aside, it's fun, but it is quite ridiculous. I'd say D tier.
D tier?
Yeah.
Wow, I was actually kind of thinking you were going to go higher with that.
I mean, it's a fun movie, but compared to, maybe the rest of his, it's not up there. It's just quirky fun.
All right, that's fair. All
right.
We're going to leave it there.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
I couldn't even tell you how many times I've seen this.
Yeah, same. I watched it a lot as a kid.
Well, I can probably still do it word for word. Maybe.
Like with the movie, I used to be able to do more, that's for sure.
Sure.
That one's highly quotable though,
Yeah, this one I would say is pretty high up there. The critique I'll have on it is some of it has not aged very well. There's a lot of homophobic stuff in it, and I don't know if it would translate well today, but for nostalgia reasons and how much I love it, I really want to put it in S tier, but we're going to bring it down a notch, I think.
And put it in A?
Put it in A.
I was actually thinking A myself.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, so the next movie on the roster is The Mask.
My feelings on The Mask, of all of his 90s stuff, this is a perfect blend of what he can do comedically and even dramatically a little bit too.
Yeah, The Mask. Oh, that's a good one for me. That's another one you don't ever have to watch again.
Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
That's her film introduction.
Yeah.
I think that's her first movie.
Yeah.
If memory serves.
Ow, 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 ow. I mean, I gotta say S.
I do too.
That is an S for me.
It is the perfect blend of what this guy can do.
Yeah.
And a little bit of foreshadowing of things to come, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna, dive a little deeper, I mean, he's got the two faces, yeah.
Dumb and Dumber. I am thoroughly tired of this movie. It's not going to affect my rating because obviously I watched it a lot for a reason, but...
Well, same. I'm in the same boat. But, definitely an excellent movie.
I would honestly say it's more Jeff Daniels' movie than Jim Carrey's movie. I don't know. Jeff Daniels just shines. He's the supporting role, I would say, in the movie.
I can't disagree with that, no.
A lot of gross out humor in this one.
Yeah, it's definitely one of their more immature.
It's so stupid.
It is. Yeah. It's not stupid in the way that, Earth Girls Are Easier. That's just, it's a different kind of stupid. That was definitely one my dad was like, no, this is just stupid, but the kids loved it.
I don't think my dad ever saw that one.
Okay.
I'm in between A and B myself. I mean, it's got a pretty damn good story. It's not just, two idiots goofing off the whole time. It's a fun road trip movie. There's the whole kidnapping aspect of it and the little bit of action at the end of it.
Yeah, it gets kind of serious there. I don't know, I'd throw it in A.
I'd put it in A too.
Yeah.
The reason I was debating on B is because it is really stupid, but kind of as an afterthought. I'm like, there's a lot going on in that.
I think that kind of helped me make that decision too.
Yeah.
All right, so up next.
Batman Forever. I did not grow up with this one. Kind of new to the Batman stuff in general. I will say this movie is extremely ridiculous.
It really is. It's campy and ridiculous.
I mean, if that's your thing, that's great. If done well, which I kind of like
It was done well.
Yeah, I like how this movie did it. As far as a great Batman movie, I think it's going to rank pretty low for me. But just as a goofy, campy experience, which is what I think they were going for, it's a very fun movie.
Yeah, it serves that purpose well. See, I can see why some people wouldn't be into it, and at the same time, I absolutely love it. It's not like some of the other Jim Carrey movies where I've seen it. I have seen it a lot. Maybe not as much as some of the other ones.
I'm leaning towards B tier on that one.
I was wrestling, between B and C. I think B would be all right. Jim Carrey does a great job as the Riddler. He brings that funny Jim Carrey that you know, but then he brings the insane.
Yeah.
A little bit of branching off.
His performance is S tier for sure.
Yeah.
Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, in my opinion, a pretty big step down in quality from the first one. It's a little more childish. After a certain point, like, it appealed to a lot of children probably because of the animated series, so they kind of had to, water it down a little bit.
Like the series came between the movies. So
Yeah.
the second one was kind of taking cues a little bit from the show, which was popular for kids.
It could have been.
Because I do feel like even though it's Ace, and he's still the same Ace, like they do have different tones. The second one is more, silly, and, the first one's kind of more serious.
Yeah. I love it to death, but I'm putting it in B tier for myself.
I think I can agree with that, even though this one, I'm more familiar with this one. I didn't see the first one as much growing up, and it just... Yeah, me and my sister quoting this one heavily. So maybe it's just because I'm more familiar with it, but I agree. Yeah, B tier.
All right, B tier it is. The Cable Guy.
The Cable Guy.
This is gonna get interesting because I love this movie. I wouldn't quite put it in S tier. It's Jim Carrey in another goofy comedy, but it's got this horror movie thriller aspect to it that I think is a very interesting thing to see Jim do, at least back in those days.
Yeah, for sure.
Easy A for me. It's probably my favorite of his 90s stuff, even though I wouldn't put it in an S. It's not quite Mask quality, in my opinion.
And that's the thing, just because you like it more doesn't mean it needs to be, you're kind of factoring a lot of things when you're kind of putting these in the tiers. And we might not even be factoring in everything either, but it's just...
Well, we're not film critics either.
Yeah.
We're just,
It's just fun, guys. The Cable Guy. Interesting. I was not the biggest fan of this movie growing up. Maybe it was because of Jim's excellent performance as a creepy mofo. I don't know. It's definitely not up there for me, but I see more appreciation in it now, watching it as an adult. It just creeped me out as a kid. I'm like, he's freaky. I don't like this. Maybe it was just his character is doing all this stuff, and it pisses you off throughout the movie. So
Well, I think I was pretty young the first time I saw it, so I didn't quite comprehend the severity of the situation that he's putting Matthew Broderick's character in. When it dawned on me that it was kind of terrifying was like the car garage scene and then Steven's nightmare, where he comes busting through the door. Otherwise, it was Jim just being goofy Jim to me. Just kind of how I took it.
Yeah, I just didn't feel that one as much as the others.
That's fine. How dare you, but that's fine.
So, you're putting it in A?
I'm putting it in A.
I wrestle between B and C. I'd probably put it in C.
Oh, you put me in a pickle here.
Oh, no.
I should have said S tier, then it could have been an A, but I gotta be honest
You
here.
weren't using your noggin.
How dare you do that to Jack Black?
Oh.
Okay, Liar Liar. It might be more quotable than even like the Ace Ventura movies.
It's pretty... Oh, yeah. This one just...
For me, it's an easy S. It's an easy
I was
S.
going to say right away, I'm like, should I talk about this for a minute? And before just... And I'm like, no, I don't need to.
No.
S all the way. I just...
Boom.
It's got everything.
For what it's trying to do, it's absolutely perfect. So
Yes.
not everybody's cup of tea. We get that. Jim never was. So all right. The Truman Show. I have a much different opinion on this one nowadays than I did when I was a kid. I loved it.
Same.
It pisses me off.
The whole thing. You feel so bad for this poor guy.
And then just what it says about like people being addicted to media and all that stuff.
Ed Harris is an actor. Yeah, it's like he probably couldn't get away with the length of time that he's doing this in the movie, but it's just, I feel like that in real life. There's no way that would happen.
It will not.
But
no, it wouldn't.
There would
happen,
also be millions out there like, huh?
Oh, yeah.
What's he doing every second of the day?
Well, we kind of get a little bit of that with reality TV. It's not that far off the mark. And I think this was before reality TV was really a thing, because I think like the Osbournes was one of the first ones of that kind to come out. And I think that was like 2003, somewhere in there. Early 2000s on that for sure. And this was 99.
Okay.
No, this was 98. Okay.
This was 98. Okay. It's definitely an extreme example of reality television, but when I was a kid, maybe I just didn't get it. But I didn't like the movie. I was like, okay, this is kind of dumb, but I didn't get it. And we just recently watched it. Feelings have changed.
Yeah, I understood what was going on, but it wasn't Goofy Jim. Like, I just wasn't into it.
Mm-hmm. And it hits harder now. It's like, that poor bastard. I'd say A or B.
A or B?
A or B.
I was going to shoot with A on this one.
Okay, I can go with A, yeah. It hits differently now.
Yeah.
It is an amazing movie. Very well done.
Oh. Man on the Moon.
Man on the Moon.
You just saw this one the other day for the first time.
Like days ago, I saw this for the first time. I think growing up, I had known about it, and I don't even think I saw a preview of it. I just didn't know what it was, so I never watched it, and I never got the chance, so there we go. And then until you doing this, I watched it, and I liked it, and it pissed me off at the same time. It blew my mind.
Mm-hmm. The extent of that man back in the day.
It is just amazing that he just lived like that. The magnitude of that is, I can't even wrap my head around it.
And then Jim fully embodying him, and
for like, what, 4 months?
While they were filming it, yeah.
The director said, like, I never actually worked with Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
No, he was Andy Kaufman for 4 months straight. I never worked with Jim Carrey. That is just amazing.
Andy Kaufman just thoroughly pisses me off. I do not like him. This movie is very irritating to me. I don't hate the guy, but I don't like him.
I don't either. No, he would piss me off in real life, for sure.
Well, like, and it's like what people said, like, Andy didn't care if you liked him or hated him. He just wanted a response from you.
Yep.
Well, he was like that generation's Borat. It's not like the same thing, but it's just like, it kind of reminds me of that.
Mm-hmm. Like, it explains, what he does and why and yada yada. That's just too much for me.
And then, is he really dead? It kind of leaves you with that. So, but as far as the movie goes,
it made you feel something.
It definitely made you feel something.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think it did its job very well. My opinion is it's an S tier. It's a great movie.
I would have said A, but
okay.
I will not disagree with the S.
I thought you were going to be like, I hated that.
And you know what? You get like an initial like, because we talked about it very briefly right after, because we didn't want to spoil everything for the video. But yeah, if you get God, I just want to choke the guy. How? All things, brought together, like the performances and the story and just the mind it is. It's almost like I don't have words. It was pretty amazing. And it makes you feel something. Like you got to have a heart of stone if you watch that and you don't feel something.
Yeah.
For real.
So, next up is going to be me, myself, and Irene. Jim Carrey uncensored.
Oh, yes.
And plus, I honestly feel like it's kind of like a statement of like an aftermath or whatever of his experience doing Man on the Moon. Because like
I think so too.
Like nowadays he kind of has these speeches or whatever where he's talking like, none of this is real, none of us are real. We're all just characters that we play. And I think Man on the Moon I don't know what's in Jim's head, but this movie, in my opinion, from the outside looking in, is what triggered that. Now he's doing a character that is split personality. It's funny as hell. It's Goofy Jim. And then it's back.
Filthy, dirty Jim. Like,
this is
like you'd never seen him before.
Like nothing's held back here.
Yeah.
I think he's done I don't think he's done anything like that since, like that extreme as far as comedies go.
No. This one, I'll say it. I wanted an S.
You want it an S. I was gonna go with B on it, honestly, just because.
Okay.
I mean, I love it, but it's just, yeah. Well, no.
Should we do A?
We'll do A on that one.
Okay. I'll take the A.
I'm teetering between like the top 3 brackets to put that in, because it's just
the top. Yeah.
It's a little bit of a mixed bag for me, but
and that's okay.
The Grinch. You saw that.
I saw that once, and that was 100 years ago. I wasn't crazy about it. I remember liking it enough. Like Jim Carrey did an amazing job on that, and just all the makeup and everything.
And went through hell with that makeup experience.
Oh God! And those contacts that he had to put in were like, I think there was the whole eye.
Yeah.
So it was just just from what I remember, the one scene I didn't feel it fit into it very well was like they do the parade where they have him like hoisted. I didn't get that whole thing from what I remember. Otherwise, I think the movie was fine.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater when it first came out. Loved it. Just burned myself out on it. Now as I'm older, it's C tier for me.
I can deal with C. Yeah.
The Majestic.
The Majestic.
Both of us just saw this for the first time.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about this one other than S tier.
It was such a good movie.
Like the car wreck at the beginning is just a touch far-fetched, but I think that would have killed him realistically. But just a real feel-good movie. I just really enjoyed the hell out of that. It made me feel good after watching it. And
same, yeah.
So,
yeah, it was a good story. And definitely a different role for Jim Carrey, too. It wasn't just the funny.
Yeah.
I think there might have been like some, moments, little chuckles here and there. But it was mostly just story-driven and all about that story. It was a great story. I was surprised by it.
just super happy that I finally saw it. Bruce Almighty.
This one is quite up there. It's not, I don't think it's S tier for me for sure. I don't know where to put it because I feel like we're almost getting into maybe just a different era for him. I'm not sure.
Well, I feel like after The Man on the Moon, it's all just different era from here.
Yeah, and it's not that he's not funny. It's just he's different. Whatever it is, it's different from 90s to like the 2000s Jim Carrey.
Like the 90s is pretty much just all goof, no stop, and now he's starting to get into like stuff that makes you feel something. Me, myself, and Irene doesn't make you feel a whole lot, but
you just laughing.
But very, very good blend of drama and comedy with this one. You know, like the whole concept is very over the top, but it doesn't play out that way. It works very well. It's not too much. Yeah.
Like there's a message.
And then it pulls on the heartstrings in the last act of the movie, so.
And then you get Morgan Freeman, come on.
Oh, Morgan Freeman, yeah. It's an easy A for me.
I would say A, yeah.
Easy A. Can you tell we're Jim Carrey fans? Most of these are just highly ranked.
Yeah.
All right, so Eternal Sunshine. I saw it once back when it first came out, and it went over my head. Basically, what I'm going to say about this is it's held in very high regard. I didn't have time to check this one out in time for this video, but
and I haven't seen it.
I know there's a good movie here. I've heard it hyped up so much, so I'm just going to give you all the benefit of the doubt and put it in A. You know, I might not like the thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And I feel like I heard from critics that, it was kind of confusing and stuff. So, but
yeah.
I'm sure if you just watch it a couple times, maybe you'll pick up on the story or whatever. I don't know.
But I mean, it's got Kirsten Dunst in it. I think Elijah Wood's in this one.
Yeah.
I think it's Elijah Wood.
Yeah. That's a good cast there. Yeah.
Kate Winslet.
We're going to watch that one day for sure.
Okay, Lemony Snicket's Series of Unfortunate Events.
Yeah, I saw that one time. And I feel like it was less than 10 years ago. Well, I mean,
we watched it.
We watched it?
A few years ago, yeah.
See how much I remember? I didn't remember that.
And I've seen it a couple of times, and I have a lot of fun with it.
I think I liked it well enough. Not my favorite, but I liked it well enough for one watch, for sure.
It's a good ride.
I'd probably watch it again, yeah.
I don't know. That's a good, B tier for me.
That's what I was thinking, B tier. Ooh, the number 23.
It's been a few years. I remember coming back from it thinking, oh, that was interesting. That was fun. Jim did a good job and all that. But that's kind of it. It didn't make me feel any way one way or the other. It was just
all right.
A decent movie.
It was good. Yeah, I felt that way too on my one viewing years ago as well. I remember liking it enough. And it's definitely another role for Jim Carrey. Just like, oh yeah, it's pretty cool seeing him do something different, Well,
I think that's the part of it that I did like was just seeing him do something so different so well. So
yeah,
he played the hell out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
For me, it's still very middle of the road. I'm thinking C tier for that one.
We can put in that in C, yeah.
Okay. Yes, man.
Yes, man. Yes, man. Yes.
It's up there with The Mask, really. It is.
That and Bruce Almighty are, I don't know, for me, they're kind of similar in a way. But Yes, Man is just...
It's up there,
It's just a little bit, yeah. So I'll put it in S2, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Yes Man is...
I'm happy with that.
Oh, and it's got a good message too, Very, very feel good.
Okay, I Love You, Phillip Morris. We literally just watched this an hour ago.
Yeah.
I had seen it once in the past, and this was your first time watching it. What did you think of that one?
I liked it. Yet another different role for Jim, and it was great. You get him and Ewan McGregor, and their chemistry is great. And I found out it was a true story, so it was like, it was kind of heartbreaking at the end, because you could tell like they really love each other and they should be together, and it makes you feel things, that's for sure.
A lot more goofy than I remember it being. Honestly, I remember a hell of a lot more of the movie being in the prison too. So I mean, they go back to prison a lot, but very good, very different. I'm feeling like an A tier for that one.
I feel like A tier is adequate. Yes,
we are very unanimous on this list for the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
Hey, get out of there.
We've got our little differences on a couple of them, but you know.
Burt Wonderstone. I don't remember enough to comment on it. I didn't like it. It's F for me.
It's F for sure. And I remember Jim Carrey's character was a little over the top. Like, did he play the shit out of it? Of course.
I was just left with this just gross feeling afterwards. I did not care for it. I will not be revisiting it. So yeah, that's it for that one. Dumb and Dumber 2.
Okay.
Did you see that one?
I saw that one once. I didn't care so much for it.
I didn't either.
It was just okay. It was just like meh.
Which is surprising because I think it was the same people that made the first one. All the
Farrelly
way.
Brothers.
It just doesn't hit.
It didn't hit, yeah.
It's missing something. And I remember when they were filming it and all that, I followed it real closely. I was very excited, I had just high hopes for it. Maybe if we revisit it someday, maybe it's not as bad as we remember.
I just remember he spends like 20 years pretending he's a vegetable or something like that. And then he's, haha. And it's just like, come on. I don't know. It was just a little ridiculous for me, but you know.
It's a D tier because I remember liking some of that has some great moments in it for sure.
I feel like I didn't just sit there like a zombie at the screen or anything.
Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie itself is kind of in the B tier category. Jim's performance, he just plays the hell out of Robotnik. His S tier performance from Jim.
S tier performance, B tier movie.
Yeah, I'm very middle of the road on that one. I remember being excited for the sequel, which, you know, they kind of teased towards the end of that. Still haven't seen the sequel because we're uncultured swine. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's our ranking.
Yeah.
Do with this information what you will.
The Jim Carrey movies we know so far. Tier list.
That's right. So yeah, nice simple little video to tide everyone who cares over.
The two people.
And until some of our bigger projects start trickling out, preparing for a giant road trip coming up soon, a Weird Al passion project that I've been trying to get together in a way that I'm happy with for the last 2 years, so keep an eye out for those.
We'll get busy trying to get more stuff out to you guys. We're doing what we can.
If you like what you saw here, like and subscribe, all the things, and we'll see you in the next video.
Rim Jam, let's go!